Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research. The Sunday Roast presents 12 Stocks for the 12 Days of Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday Roast, the 12 stocks for the 12 days of Christmas. Today we're joined by Professor Richard Conroy of Conroy Gold. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm very well indeed today. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. And
a very good Christmas to you.
You've achieved a lot in 2021. Certainly that the latter part of this year has been a resounding success. Can you tell us a bit more about the deal and what you're looking forward to in 2022?
The deal is certainly a very, very good one in our opinion. And I think in most people's opinion that it's something that has come about, not just in the last few months. This is the expression of it, but that expression is based on a lot of work that's been going on for many years in discovering an entire new district scale gold area. Bringing it to the stage in which in one area there's the possibility of bringing in a mine relatively quickly and a series of other opportunities to follow up the first mine. But it's very nice. It's most pleasant and obviously very, very happy about the fact that we're now coming to the stage when it all begins to really mean something and you're getting the return for the work which all of the people concerned have put into this success. We now move into a whole new ball game. So it's very exciting, very interesting, and we're obviously delighted with the situation.
So tell us a bit about Christmas while we're on the thing, because obviously we've chosen Conroy as the one of the stocks for 2022. It's the 12 stocks for the 12 days. Tell us what Christmas means for you, Richard.
Christmas always means a great deal. Everything from the fact that it starts off really as the days begin to get just that little bit longer, and it's surprising what an effect that has and begins to come on quite quickly. And then you have the tremendous joy of children who really Christmas means such a lot to them. It also means a lot to many people, I think, and their families. It's one time that we all try to get together. I myself will be with my two daughters out in the States. So it's a really happy time. It's also a time which gives one a little bit of a chance to reflect, because most of the rest of the year one's going pretty well all the time. Over the Christmas, New Year period, you get a chance to reflect on obviously the previous year, the past year, but also to think and plan about what one's going to attempt to do in the coming year. So there are a lot of aspects to Christmas, the joy of it, the happiness of it, the meaning, of course, of Christmas as well, very, very important to so many people, and the fact that it encompasses all age groups, including most of all, perhaps the children, and also the fact that the break as a whole gives one a chance for reflection, for thought, for planning ahead.
Yeah, and I guess also a kind of a reset going into the new year and just getting yourself ready for what lies ahead. So what actually does lie ahead, do you think, for 2022 for Conroy?
Well, you're quite right. It's a chance for a reset because, of course, we're now in a whole new situation. Very, very important. This is transformational from the company. We've gone from a situation in which we had this view, this idea that there could be a gold trend in the area. Certainly, we never imagined it would be so big. We didn't imagine it would have so much potential. We certainly didn't imagine it would take us so many years to reach this stage. But nonetheless, we have reached it now. We have this entire district scale gold trend with a major partner. The entire area between us, we'll be able to retain as much as 40% of it. We'll be moving ahead, accelerating now in the coming year, because now the funds will be available, the expertise will be there in major amounts, expertise both in preparing for bringing in a mine, for operating one in due course, and for exploring and developing the other areas where there's the possibility of further mines coming up. So it'll be an absolutely transformational situation for this company. We go from being a tiny exploration company to one in which we're already in a situation in which this entire district, we will still be able to retain over 40% of it. It is a tremendous deal. And so we're looking forward very much to a very active and exciting 12 months. It's a transformational situation for us. I've experienced it to some extent before when our exploration for zinc led to the Galmoy and Machine mines and so on, and the huge effect that has. But that was just one mine. Okay, it's a world-class mine, a very big one. But nonetheless, this is an entire gold district. I cannot think of any other situations in which a company has had the good fortune, and we work very hard at it, but at the same time, good luck is also very important, to have the good luck and the good fortune to have an entire gold district. We don't know how big it's going to be, but it could be very big indeed, as I think you're aware, in the northeastern area of it, around Clontarf, Clay Lake, Glenish. There's a possibility there, even at a relatively shallow level, down to about 200 meters or so, of having 8-9 million ounces of gold. That's our exploration target there. It's not a resource, by the way. It's a target. We have a quite substantial 500,000 resource already proven in it, and we're not even including that. Now, that's quite big by anyone's standards once you talk about moving up towards 10 million ounces of gold. And that's only in one part of the entire district. I'm not saying all the rest is going to be like that. Far from it. No doubt there'll be disappointments. But there's also the potential for a great deal more. And there's also potential depth. So it's a very exciting situation. And has tremendous potential for the joint venture, for this company going ahead. It's very, very exciting. And of course, it is also part of the rationale of what we tried to do. And as I've said, there's always luck in it, but nonetheless, the rationale was to discover something of major, of world-class importance. We've succeeded in doing that, and it puts us into an extraordinary position when we've been able to tie up the licenses covering the entire area, and now to be able to move forward with a joint venture partner, a very major joint venture partner.
Okay, that is great. And I understand you've hired an army of leprechauns as well, because that's going to be required, obviously, to
I think you gave us that idea, and I've had a quick word with my technical colleagues, and pointing out to them that this would have saved a great deal of time. It's very clear, but you look for where the rainbow is, you dig beside it. None of this nonsense of geophysics.
Absolutely. Ask Paddy. He knows. He knows. The man on the corner knows. Paddy, how do you feel now that the EGM is out the way and all the things have been passed?
Well, I'm absolutely delighted, because at the end of the day, it's the shareholders' prerogative to decide on the deal. We've brought it to this stage. It's been marvelous, the tremendous support that we've had for shareholders, but nonetheless, the final decision was theirs, and they've taken it by an overwhelming majority. And we look forward now to moving ahead with this tremendous opportunity that we have for the future.
Yeah, and the one thing that we've spoken to you about before is sort of the speed of development from this point on. So 2022 is not going to be sitting on your hands drilling the odd hole. So do you want to just expand a bit on that?
Well, certainly. And the situation that we have been in it's led to this tremendous achievement, but nonetheless, it's been a situation in which you have to raise money as you go along. You, in each hole that you put down, you're thinking, what is this going to lead to? What advantages is it going to bring in terms of knowledge and of terms of resource and in terms of exploration success? And in that situation, you're doing one hole at a time, and often at considerable intervals. Now, they've been very successful, which is absolutely tremendous. But now you move into a totally different situation in which you are, for example, assessing in an area where you know there's already a lot of gold. You've done the exploration holes, but now you're going to do a whole series of holes in which you'll be building up the resource and reserve in that particular area. For the other areas, you'll be able to move forward now because you now have the funds and the opportunity to move forward, a major partner to work with you with very substantial financial resources and very considerable expertise in the development of mines and the running of mines. So the amount of work that is done and the nature of that work changes very, very substantially. We've made our exploration discovery. Okay, we'll be making others, I would hope, over the coming years, and hopefully some of them will be as big or bigger in the area itself, and still a lot of it to be looked at. But nonetheless, we've passed beyond the exploration stage. The exploration stage is now an addition, as it were, to the development stage, when you're transforming the actual exploration success into actual mine development. So it's a very different, much more massive situation than that we've been engaged in so far. And we're certainly not going to delay about it. But at the same time, it is looking very promising and very exciting. And it'll be at, however, a much faster pace on a much larger volume than we've been doing hitherto, partly because of the finance, but partly because we've reached a stage now in which we've made the discoveries. It's trying to see, well, how big are there? How many more are there? How deep does it go? All these sort of things. So it's going to be a very exciting, very busy, very, sure, demanding and challenging, but we look forward to that. It'll be a tremendous time to be moving on with the company, to transform it, to bring it forward. So it's really exciting.
And in terms of the warrants, so you've got warrants at 50p and warrants at £1. So this is going to release the cash. How do you envisage that money will be spent in 2022?
Well, you inevitably still have the running of a company of those basic general purposes costs. They continue on. And as well as that, we have one or two other interests, both in Ireland and in Finland, which don't come in directly into the joint venture, but which the joint venture partner, if there's success in these areas, or if they so wish to, has the option of coming in up until December 23. So the company will be very active. It'll be very active as a company generally, looking to make a major contribution to actual development of the mine. We will actually be operator for at least the first 2 years of the project. So that'll in itself be a very challenging situation, and some funds will be needed in it, although obviously the major funding comes in from the joint venture partner. But as well as that, we have certain other interests, as I mentioned, in Ireland and Finland, and we'll be following these up. So the company itself is not just going to become a cash shell, it'll be a very active company moving forward, both in the Longford Down Massif and also where there's a worthwhile opportunity elsewhere.
Now I'm going to ask you a question about Christmas. What is the best Christmas present you ever got? And that can go all the way back to your childhood.
Best Christmas present I ever got was a chess set back when I was, I think, 7 years old. And I really enjoyed that chess set.
Wow. So you like to play chess?
Just a little. I used to play, yes, indeed.
And another question, if money was no object,
yeah,
what would you like to have as a Christmas gift?
Money, I think, is always an object, but you're assuming there that the Christmas gift. I think the Christmas gift that I've really got enjoyment out of has been this success, and I'd like to see it followed up by a further success and expansion on it. It's a tremendous feeling to reach this stage after many years of work and so on. Another major discovery would be very nice. Thank you for a Christmas gift.
And we talked last time about the food element. Obviously, we talked what was your ultimate roast, and I think you said, good beef done well or well done. I think was
absolutely.
Now, what is the ultimate Christmas dinner for you?
Oh, the ultimate Christmas dinner is indeed the turkey, really nicely done. Good turkey, really nicely done. Some ham with that turkey go very pleasantly. And I'm also very fond of Christmas pudding, so I think that's a starters anyway.
Excellent. Oh, you can't beat Christmas pudding with brandy sauce. I mean, that's the ultimate.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure you don't bust your teeth on those silver pieces, though.
There'll be gold pieces, not silver.
Ah, yes, indeed. We have gold pieces in the pie now. I want to come to your Christmas dinner now. You put one ounce nuggets in the pie. That sounds good for Christmas. I tell you. Okay, very good.
Richard Conroy, Merry Christmas.
And a very Merry Christmas to you. Look forward to talking with you again in the coming year. Many thanks.
Merry Christmas and God bless. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. God bless to you.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.